So I welcome you all, and I'm going to show you how to draw the contour map using Surfer software, right? So this is the software that we use for draw contours, and even you can use MATLAB, right? So inbuilt functions are there, but this is very advanced tool because this is GIS based software, right? So it is specifically uh, has been developed for these kind of purposes, right? So there are advanced options where you can even fine tune your contours. I'll show you how to do that, right? So first we need to, so you can have all these layout and everything. So I'll just show you how to draw a basic contour using software. So that will be also be useful for students who especially do research in any field. So most of the times, the you have to check the variation of a surface. Let's say spatial resolution, right? So in such case, you have to use contour maps, right? So first thing is you need to add whatever you need to feed your data into the software, right? So I'll choose this Excel new worksheet, right? So that will open you here the sheet one, and plot is a different sheet where you draw the contour, right? So in the sheet one, so they ask X, Y, and the Z. Z is the parameter you need to draw, right? So XY is the coordinates of the of your area, right? So let's say this is let's say we'll go for this. Let's say these are your x over, so let's say this is just x and y. Okay. So this is your parameter, right? Well, you need to draw it, right? So that's basically the z axis, right? So so I'll copy in this order, right? X, y, then the parameter, right? And I can copy it and copy it and come to the surfer, and then I'll just control V. That means I'll just paste it. So you can see it's automatically paste. It's there, right? Everything comes into X and X, Y, and Z table. And then you need to save this sheet one. Okay. Make sure you are in the sheet one, and then file, save as. So type whatever the name, type out whatever name. Let's say that's the contour data one. Let's say data one. Make sure you save the type as a BLN, okay, not any other. BLN golden software, okay, .bln file, right? So you have to save it as .bln. Other formats are not working, right? So you can save it, right? So then it asks proceed. Let's say okay, right? So now you can see if it is saved properly, you can see the name is here, right? Data underscore one dot pln, and then you can go to the sheet plot, right? And here you can, now we have saved our contour data, right? So you need to import this to the plot, right, as the grid data. So you can go to this grid data, then grid data and desktop, you can find this data one BLN, right? The file you created, right? So the file you created and open it, and then it asks these things. So X and Y is said okay, right? So they are giving different options, right? Inverse to power, K nearest table, radial based function, many options. So for now you can, so the default one is stringing, and even advanced options are there, right? Linear or whatever. So you can see, right? So even if you want, you can change the geometry where you need the contour within some limit, right? So spacing, global, these things you don't need to. So it's a transform is linear. If you want, you can save it as log, right? So then for now, I'll check okay. If you want to save the grid report, you can save it from here. Tick this. Okay. So save it. Then the grid has been created. So only thing is you need to now plot the control. Grid data has been created. So you need to now plot the contour. So you can go to this. So you can see the data one grid file has been created, and you can open that file in the plot sheet, right? See, it is getting generated, right? So this is my contour. Now everything is uh, kind of fine tuning, right? So this is not the final picture you need, right? You need to define in a such way properly where this can be uh, where this should be followed some standard, right? So uh, I can check this. So you can see these are the things you can change. So I'll first go to levels, right? So you don't need to much use these generals. Sometimes, yeah, no data. For now you only need these levels only, right? Other things you can check it later, right? So you can check the level method is simple, right? So I'll show you how to do that. So the minimum contour and everything given, maximum contour this. So I'll choose the contour interval as uh, so I'll set the maximum contour to 0. Okay, so nothing changed because the data maximum is 0.02, right? So you can even define the range. Okay, here sometimes there are like you have a couple of contour maps where you need to define the same range, right? So in such case, define something common, but it should be the minimum contour you define should be less than this, and the maximum contour you define should be greater than the available value, right? Otherwise, some data region will be erased. Okay, so the contour interval I choose as 0.1. So you can see this is my contour map. So you can see the major every contour I need to show it, right? So I need to show every contour, right? So now it's done. And line properties. So my line style you can check if you need. You can just set dotted lines, anything, right? So for now I'll check solid lines. If you need, you can reduce its. You can see it's getting faded, right? So I'll choose somewhere around this, right? So everything line properties you can change from these. Minor contours are also there if you define it at the edge, and the font labels, right? So you can see the label size is, if you want to increase it, you can increase it, right? 16, and the font also, right? So check 14, and if you need to bold it. uh, Stuck, right? and the label format. So you can see there are a number of digits you can check. If you check significant digits is equal to 0. No. Yeah, 1 digit, right? 1 digit. If you know you need 2 digit, you can change, right? So it's given the label format, right? Because sometimes this software takes the 0 as uh, 0.9999 something, right? 99, sorry, not 0, not 0, 1. Oh, some, yeah, it's 0. They are taking at 1.6 to 10 to the power minus 19. Somewhere bigger things are shown because of this, uh, not this one, this number of significant digits. So you have to change it at least. 1 digit is okay, right? So other things are there. So I can now go ahead and change the color. So I'll fill contours for now. So you can see. So the color scale as well, you can do the color scale, right? So if you define the same contour maximum and minimum for each contour, so you can define one color scale for that, right? That's the advantage. Even in the color scale also, you can separately uh, separately edit that. You can see the items given, everything there. Even you can keep a title. So I'll say this is Z. Okay. So where's Z? So Z is there. So you can even rotate it. Let's say this is 0. So that font also you can change, right? So even this one also you can rotate. Let's say you need to make it horizontal, so you can check 90 degrees, right? The font, right? Font. I don't need the font, right? I need this one. So you can rotate it from here, right? So I'll say 90. Yeah, not 90. Another 180, right? So initially I have rotated 270, right? So the labels I need to, yes. If you don't need these intervals, so you can increase the frequency so that it will show less values, right? So you can reduce the first, get rid of first one. So now you need to, if you need to, you can just check several color maps for this one. Let's say there are several options. You can see many of color scaling are there, even terrain. You can see like this, right? So you can make beautiful configurations, doesn't matter, right? So even forests, so you can see, can change everything, right? So if you need let's say, so let's say you keep this grayscale and you need to check select change this color to blue color. So I'll go to this color, I'll click here, then I can adjust that color. I'll go to custom settings, choose something like this color, right? This color, it's okay for me, right? So you can see the minimum is also you have to define it here. My maximum was select change as 0. Keep that range same everywhere, right? So if you want to save this color, you can save it and load it for other maps, right? The same color, right? Blue and white. Okay, then click OK. You can see automatically the graph is updated and the color scale as well, right? So if you need to fine tune it, so you can edit the contour labels, right click it and edit contour labels, and then if you just click one, if you, because there are three contour labels on the same line, so I can delete, just press delete, and there are one. So if you need, you can move it here and there, right, here and there. And the next thing is, uh, if you want to name this label, press control, then it will show a plus line. While holding control button, click that contour line. While holding control, click contour, click contour line, click contour line. Sometimes if there is not sufficient space, you can't put the label, but in that case, you can insert a text box, right? So make sure the text box you create is as the same font and the same size as this, right? So even you can rotate everywhere and keep that as a label, right? So another thing is, let's say if you need to define a distinct line arrangement, let's say the negative ones using dotted lines and positive ones and zero using solid lines. In such case, before moving into the contour labeling, you need to change this uh, labels. It's simple. You can go to advanced. So it asks the custom edit labels will be lost. I think this is not an issue in the newest version, so that you can check OK. So you can see all the things, then reset to default, and then edit levels. So once you do that, make sure you can't then again change the color and everything, right? So make sure you have already changed the color and range everything up to this step, else you have to do it again, right? So follow this order properly, and you can see the line is there, right? If you need to show the dot point 0.3 and 0.4 using dotted line, you can change a dot line. Even the size of the dots, the color, let's say red color. Okay. Let's say this is red color you need. You can see very fine tuning can be done compared to MATLAB, I think, right? So that's program controllable. This is manually, right? So always you can do whatever you want, right? Do whatever you want. And yes, if you need, you can just add a text box here. This is y coordinate, right? So before editing that text box, you have to press escape, right? Otherwise it will draw another text box only, right? Then you can edit it. If you need, you can copy everywhere, right? And just change it as X. You can change everything from here, the contours, labeling, everything, size and everything. And the best part is you can even just copy this and paste into Word file. You can do that. That's easy. Or else you can just import this, export this as a map. So let's say this is Curzon contour 1 as a PNG, okay, PNG file. So there's the resolution. I'll keep this. So now my contour is exported. So I'll check. So you can see it's time consuming, but it worth it, right? So you can see the contour map as for your requirement can be generated, right? You can fine tune it, everything. If you need, you can get rid of these labels as well, these ticks. I'll show you how to do that. So you can just go with this. I'll show you how to do